Hunters had to hunt animals for food so the whole tribe could survive, but this job was far more brutal than most people imagine. No guns, no one-tap kills, mostly just traps, wooden spears, stone weapons, and humans fighting massive animals at close range. They were basically the backbone of the tribe. One wrong move and you are dead. Hunters had to track animals for hours or even days with insane patience, sometimes through freezing cold, extreme heat, injuries, sickness, and exhaustion just for a chance to eat. Scientists found ancient hunter skeletons with broken bones and heavy injuries, showing how dangerous this job really was. And hunting was not their only problem. They also had to protect the tribe from predators like cave lions, wolves, or bears that could attack at any moment. There was basically no respawn button in ancient times. Honestly, even today, if hunters failed too many times, the entire tribe could starve. Gatherers had to collect plants, berries, roots, nuts, honey, and anything edible they could find so the tribe would not starve. At first, this sounds way easier than hunting, but it was still extremely dangerous. One small mistake, and you could eat the wrong plant and poison yourself or even the whole tribe. Gatherers had to memorize hundreds of plants and know which ones were safe, deadly, or only edible during certain seasons. They walked for hours every day through forests, rivers, freezing cold, or extreme heat while carrying heavy baskets, children, or supplies. And unlike modern stores, food was not guaranteed. Some days they could search for hours and barely find anything. They also had to stay alert for hidden predators waiting to ambush them in tall grass at any moment, like snakes, wolves, or big cats. Scientists believe gatherers were actually one of the biggest food sources for many ancient tribes, meaning survival depended heavily on them. Without good gatherers, the tribe could slowly starve even if hunters succeeded. Tool and weapon makers had one of the most important jobs in ancient times because without them, survival became much harder than before. Hunters could not hunt properly, shelters became weaker, and defending the tribe was far more difficult. This job was less dangerous than both hunting and gathering, but both hunters and gatherers heavily depended on these makers. Because no matter how strong or smart you were, surviving in areas full of predators without proper tools was almost impossible. Their job was creating sharp stone tools, spears, axes, knives, bows, arrows, traps, and later metal weapons using primitive methods. No crafting tables, no machines, no tutorials. Mostly just hard stones, fire, wood, metal, and years of patience and skill. This was an extremely difficult skill to learn. One small mistake while shaping stone could badly cut your hands or completely ruin the weapon. Early blacksmiths also worked around extreme heat, smoke, sparks, molten metal, and non-stop hammering for hours. They had to understand materials like stone, bone, wood, animal sinew, and metal long before modern science existed. Hunting, cooking, cutting meat, building shelters, skinning animals, making traps, and many other survival tasks all depended on them. Without proper tools, humans were far weaker against nature and predators. In many ways, the survival and strength of a tribe often depended on how skilled their tool and weapon makers were. Healers and herbal experts had one of the most respected and terrifying jobs in ancient times because people's lives literally depended on them. Ancient medicine was basically a deadly coin toss with death itself. They had no hospitals or antibiotics, so early healers constantly tested different roots, herbs, and plants without fully knowing if they would heal someone or kill them painfully. If a treatment worked, the knowledge survived through generations. If someone died horribly, the tribe learned never to use it again. A lot of this knowledge likely came from watching animals for years. Ancient humans saw elephants pack mud onto wounds, chimpanzees swallow rough leaves to remove parasites, and sick animals eat certain plants to heal themselves. Humans slowly started copying these behaviors. Modern science actually has a name for this called zoopharmacognosy, which means observing animals using natural medicine. They packed cuts with honey to suffocate bacteria and used sphagnum moss, which is insanely absorbent and naturally acidic, as the perfect prehistoric bandage. Healers treated injuries, infections, broken bones, sickness, animal bites, and wounded hunters using mostly herbs, primitive tools, fire, and experience passed down through generations. One mistake could poison or kill a patient instead of saving them. In many ways, healers stood between life and death.